Okay, we're gonna go live while I put on lipstick, right? Okay. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna talk about money without betraying yourself, and that is so critical because it's connected to our identity, right? And if you look at identity first, and you look at money, one of the things that came up last night during Clubhouse was actually the fact that one of the questions that a friend of mine, Ledford, mentioned during our sessions on Napoleon Hill was, where did you learn about money? Who taught you about money? Where was your first interaction with money, right? And part of mine was the church. Part of mine was my parents. Part of mine was the fact that I saw my mother and my father work really hard to give us a life that they desired for us, and they want, and not just desired just to move on the, we called it moving on the other side of the tracks. Uh, in on the Jeffersons, the show The Jeffersons, they said moving on up, right, to the east side. Uh, and so they really worked hard for that. But the question is who do we have to become to literally sustain and handle emotionally, physically, financially, um, the money or the wealth we desire? So many people are saying they want to be, you fill in the blank. However, have you become the person that can handle that? Because money, just to give us an overview to start here, money is actually, it doesn't have a soul, it doesn't have a mind, a will, none of that. However, the person that has the money, that has the power, that has the control, right? It takes on that because, and I'm gonna prove it to you right now for just a second. Um, if a person has, let's say, $100,000, or you can say 100, right? If a person has $100, the same $100 can feed the homeless, it can pay a bill, and it can also hurt other people. It can literally cause damage to yourself and others. You could end up purchasing something that would hurt you. Whether it be some foreign substance or something that would hurt you or harm you, the same $100. So it's not about the money, it's about the person behind the money. So, who do you need to become to really handle the gravitas, to handle the money that you're asking for, the wealth, the prominence? And the reason I'm asking about it like that is because that matters. So going back to the original question was, the question was, where did I learn about money? Well, one of the main things I learned about money, not judging anybody or anything, was, it said money was a root of all evil. But that's not scripture. Money is not the root of all evil. It talks about the love of money being the root of all evil. And the reason that that is such a problem is because, and I'm going to say it in a different way, is that when you look at that, number one, the scripture wasn't really about that, it was deeper than that. And it does not say money is evil, because, see, money is neutral, it's not good or bad. Money is a tool that we utilize in exchange for something we desire. We actually exchange our time, our energy, our talents for money. Some people are purchasing items to gain notoriety. When I say that, I'm saying, you know how in how a person may have on, I'm gonna call it red bottom shoes because that's in the top of my head. And you say, wow, they got it going on. And I remember teaching this, and Nina reminded me this other day. She said, you may be carrying that or you may be wearing that, but the real question is, are all your bills paid? Have you went up Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Or did you just jump on the top and then say, I'm going to buy this, it doesn't matter, I deserve it? And so in some places, when I heard money was the root of all evil, right, I built a blockage about money. So as I received resources, I did not keep resources. And we lived above our means. Had the brand new car every year, built the house. We did all of those things. All of those things are good. But we were working 2 and 3 jobs to maintain that. So it wasn't about the money, it wasn't about the things, because in the midst of all of that, a lot of things happened and I ended up being homeless. At that point, I went back to something, which was the word, right? And some books my parents have given me. And I identified the life that I need to live. And so, like I said, money is neutral. And when I re-identified the life I wanted to live, I actually went after that life and it became my identity. And I'm telling you this with purpose because some of us are going to see this and we say, well, I got a great job and I got this and I got that going on. And I'm looking over here because I see people are on and I'm trying to say, what did Patrice tell me to do? What did she tell me to do? Anyway, so I apologize because I don't remember. So listen, I was trying to get to the comments. So when you look at those pieces, my point is Karen was on. Thank you, Karen. And so when you look at those pieces, it is imperative for us not to use money to identify who we are. So why it becomes an issue, why it became an issue for me, is because I took money and I identified it based on the things we had, where we lived, all of those things. And I wanted to give my daughter the best of everything. And it turned out, she said, I would have exchanged the things for more of you. So are there things we're attempting to give to people or to get when what we really probably want and desire underneath all that is more of them? So when somebody lacks money, money can quietly or really loudly become a symbol of safety, a symbol of worth. Like if you don't have money, you have low worth. It can become a symbol of validation. In my book, Identity First, it talks about borrowing other people's identity. So when you look at Facebook or you look at the different social media things and they're living like it's golden, right? Are they? Are they really living like it's golden? Or is that what they're portraying? And so we have to be comfortable. We have to be comfortable with who we are, and not buy, do, build all of those things for other people based on what we think their perception of us would be if they really knew what it cost us to live that way. So money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. And I'm going to say this, then I'm going to come off because this can get really deep, and I want us to think about it. Put things in the comments if you have questions as you read this, as you see this. And of course, like, subscribe, and share, right? So it's not about the money. See, when you love something, you you can go after money and not meet your purpose. You can go after money and replace it for love. That is the problem with anything that we put above that is non tangible, right? Because the key with money is it's a tool, it's not a rule. It was never established to govern your life. It was used as something to exchange for what you need in your life. So, what we're going to talk about week to week is we're going to talk about, yes, some of the ways are going to be generating some additional income, but the big thing is to really re-identify who we are and whose we are, with or without money. To separate, and I want to be very specific. I'm not telling you get rid of no money, because that's not what we're doing. To separate your identity from what you have in your pocket, so that you can break the fact that if you don't have as much as you want right now, you feel bad. Or if you have a lot of it, you're using it for your good and the good of others. And to remember that when we solve problems, when we help other people, when we change our mindset about who we need to become to gather millions or billions or whatever the number is, that we want to be so stable in our identity and who we are that the money does not destroy us. So that was the question, right? Who do you need to become to get the resources that you desire? So my question to you, and I want you to think about it, is since money is a tool and you are the architect, who do you need to become to utilize that tool to your advantage, to live and leave a legacy that cannot be erased and does not destroy your purpose, your passion, your family, or your praise? Listen, y'all have a great weekend. Think about that. And you know it's pay weekend, right? So just think about that. And then just move forward. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on Monday Coffee Talk. Wednesday, we're gonna have some calm. And Friday, next week, we're gonna rock with this thing about how to separate ourselves and to really drive home the ability to build wealth without betraying who we are and who we're designed to be. Have a great one.